This video is going to be about debt and credit reporting. I posted a video just yesterday as to my interest in becoming a Financial Peace University coordinator. And so with that, about paying off debt. And so anyways, one of the replies was that from a friend saying that, that he has debt. And so with that, of course, like my first questions were, like how the amount, how old is the debt, and then also the nature of the debt. So in repaying, there are many things to consider. So what I'm here to tell you is that what Dave Ramsey teaches, this has nothing to do because I haven't even started teaching those classes yet. And so, but just from where I'm stand, knowing, having been a former, say, like bankruptcy/credit counselor versus what the program I will be teaching, say, versus through the baby steps on the Dave Ramsey program. So from when you're talking about debt, it is best to consider it. There's the credit reporting standpoint, the credit/legal reporting standpoint, and then the other would be, say, like whatever your faith-based, I'll say Christian, versus the Christian value. So, in the Christian values, they're going to say, hey, yes, you, I guess, created this debt, or karmically, universally, whatever, that, and it is that in your obligation to repay it. So, I am not here to tell you what to do. It's just basically to inform you, I guess, of what your option, provide the information, and then inform you of what your options are, so that you make the best decision suited for you. So some of the things to consider are your state's statute of limitations, because statute of limitations, yes, does apply to debt as well. So I believe that for the state of Nevada, 6, again, I'm not an attorney, so please double check this. So for the state of Nevada, for the statute of limitations on credit card debt is typically 6 years. Take in mind, though, that if we are talking about IRS debt, that doesn't apply. So there are always rules and variances within the limitations. Also, it may, though you may be, another thing to consider that I've never quite been clear on is that so say, for example, you are a resident of Nevada, the impact of where the debt was, where you agreed to the debt. So say, for example, if at one point you were in California, but now you're a Nevada resident, but committed to the debt, basically that where you signed, say, like, for example, if you may have signed a credit card application, but you did the credit card application in California and it was approved in California, and at the time you lived in California, that may also have some impact on your the statute of limitations. So another thing to consider is the age of the account. So if you are interested in repairing your, I guess basically resolving this old debt for the purpose of credit reporting without consideration, say, to any faith-based beliefs or whatever, then you have to consider the age of the account. And the way that an account is aged is that based on the date of last activity, not from when the time that the account was opened. So with that, if it's based on the age of last activity, my strong suggestion is that do not enter into an agreement with any creditor to pay on any account unless you know with all certainty. First of all, I promote debt settlement. Tends to be a better option for most, but if debt settlement option is not the case, but you do want to pay the debt, then only do so if you know that you are going to be able to take it to completion, meaning that that you're going to be able to make consistent payments time over time until you reach a zero balance. The reason that this is important is because say, for example, if you enter into an agreement with a creditor and for some reason, one or another, pretend that the account's already like 5 years old, or we'll say maybe it's already like 6 years old, but you have the feel the moral obligation that you want to pay this, regardless of how it shows up on your credit report. If you enter into payment and then for some reason something happens midway, maybe it's like your 5th or 6th month into the payment agreement and you lose your job and then now you can't pay. So guess what? So where your account was it was approaching its 7th year and about to fall off on the debt on your credit report. And meanwhile, yes, the statute of limitations here for Nevada has already expired, but again, you felt that moral obligation. Now your credit, that account will be re-aged to the last date of activity. So say if that was just last month, now you have a baby account all over again, and all the statute of limitations and also for credit reporting purposes, you have just renewed everything. So again, don't do it unless you know you're going to be able to take it through to completion. So I have notes here that I'm looking at. Another option, of course, is to dispute the debt. In disputing debt, it's like categories, subcategories within categories that we're dealing with here. So in disputing debt, there's different ways to go about that. You can just outright dispute, and then I'll do another video on this because I know it's already becoming lengthy as it is. But you do have the option, say, to just outright dispute it, even if you. I'm not saying that it's ethical. It's not for me to judge or any one of us to judge. It's just these are the options and what many people do, and also what is commonly done by credit repair agencies. You can outright dispute the debt. Another way to go about it is to dispute the current to dispute it. I'm just trying to find the words. Is like, so say for example, if you incurred a debt with Capital One, but now like Argonne Collection has it, but Argonne did not buy the contract. That means that you may have a possibility of disputing the debt based on the fact that your agreement was not with Argonne, that it was with Capital One. However, it is just as likely, I don't know what the ratios are, but it could be a 50-50. Some collectors, so say, do, yes, buy the original contracts. So with that, they have purchased basically the legal right to pursue the debt. So I'm going to talk more about that later because that's where it starts to get tricky. But I just wanted to give a brief overview as to, well, maybe not so brief now, but just an overview as to what your options are. If any of this interests you, reach out. We're interested in, say, enjoying pristine credit for different reasons. Hopefully it's buying a house. If so, then I can help you out with that. But even if not, it's just good to have in the event that one day you say, maybe you want to help finance your kids' college or something like that, and to enjoy the better rates. Obviously, that good credit is necessary for that. And so it's best to have it just in case you need it and hope that you don't.